So whatever the situation is going on where you messed up, or, where you feel anyway that you're in need of mercy, you quickly go through this process of like, oh wait, you love me, your mercy, and then so you trust him, you're at rest, and you're like, God, what are you saying to me? What do I do? There's no break in the connection with him. Because when we're struggling with hearing, it's because there's been a break, and not on his end. It's never on his end, you guys. It's on our end. It's us. It's our thinking. It's what we believe about him. So this place again of, not a formula, but a posture. It all starts from this beholding place, this place of knowing him, seeing him. And then by doing that, there's an aspect of his nature that we begin to grow and mature in that fills us. And then we have this trust, and then we have this rest. And then that's where we're hearing clearly. I know for me, like years and years and years ago, I had so many challenges. I've written about this in my book. Not challenges, I shouldn't say that, invitations from the Lord to enter into believing for financial things. I talk about in my book when I quit my job and God gave me a bookstore, and then he's had me believe him for, lots of buildings. And then I had a time in my life where it was so intense, when he was breaking me like of my independence and taking care of myself and revealing that he's the provider, that he is the source. Oh my gosh, that was a hard. I understand now what it was that he was saying, look at me, behold me, behold me. But man, I had all this stuff in my soul that was wanting to just like solve a problem I thought there was, and I needed to do it. He broke me like a wild horse of that independent spirit and brought me into seeing the one who provides, the one who is the source. And so then I got to walk that out through many different circumstances of believing him for crazy big things, And so now, like I remember I talk about in my book that time when I got the bookstore, and I sat down on the floor of the bookstore, and I wept and I wept. It was so powerful for me because it wasn't about the bookstore. It wasn't about getting the bookstore. It was this revelation and this understanding that I had about God, that he was looking for people to believe him. And it hit my heart so deep that like, oh my gosh, this is one of the ways we love you. We believe you. It's a demonstration of our love back to him is faith. And it's trusting him, and it's believing him. And I realized that in that moment. And I was like, wow, because I walked out a hard process. I crazy walked it out following when I wasn't sure. This is very early years of me beginning to walk with the Lord. And it was like a foundation for me of like, you provide. You're just looking for people to believe you. And when we come into these crazy places, it's like our soul screams one thing, our circumstances scream another thing. And he's like, I want you to believe me.